Hello, welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're gonna be continuing with the Interchange 5th edition, level 1 book, the red book, and we're gonna be continuing with the Unit 8. As always, when we start the unit, we are gonna be checking first the vocabulary that is gonna be used in the book and the topics of the lesson, and then we move on, okay? So let's start. Okay, for the words of today, we have neighborhood and recreational facilities. You're gonna be seeing what is this in a moment. Okay? Airport, airport, apartment building. This is a building that is apartment. It's gonna be used for people to live in. And this specific kind of building is an airport. You use it to go to different countries, basically, through planes. Okay? ATM, ATM, it's an automatic teller machine, and it's a machine used to dispense money using your credit or debit card. Okay? Avenue. This is an avenue. This is a big street, basically, where cars can go in. This is an avenue. The difference between a normal street and an avenue is that avenues are way bigger than a street. A street can be this size, only two lanes. These are called lanes. Only two lanes is maybe a street, but four lanes, that's an avenue. A bank, when you put money in your bank and they give you a debit or credit card, then you can use an ATM any place that you want so you can get the money. A mall or a shopping mall, it's a big place where you can buy all sorts of stuff. Okay. A boutique, it's basically a place where they sell clothes for women. A concert hall. A concert hall. It's a hall where you have concerts. It's basically a big space where you can listen to all sorts of concerts, symphonies, and all kind of stuff. College campus. This is from a college. It's a big area that it belongs to an university where people can also live in. They don't just go there and take their classes. No, they live there. For example, this could be apart from these. There are the buildings for where you are gonna be taking the classes. This might be the place where the students sleep and live. Okay, clothing store for clothes, clothing store. Coffee shop versus cafe. In the United States, a cafe serves meals, while a coffee shop usually just sells snacks, muffins, cones, shortbread. This is not strictly the case, and both usually serve coffee. Okay, these are two types of places where you can just stay a couple of hours or minutes, maybe talk with a person, and usually it's where you get to get a little bit of a cup of coffee or something like that. And here we have the difference between a coffee shop and a cafe, basically. A cafe serves meals, a coffee shop usually just sells snacks. It's like a coffee shop, you go there to drink coffee, and maybe if you're a little bit hungry, you can eat a muffin, a cookie, some bread, something like that. But a cafe, they both serve coffee, yes, but they also serve meals. Like if you want to eat some pasta or I don't know, maybe you want some a hamburger or something like that, they might give it to you. And they both usually serve coffee. A department store. It's a place where they have different departments, as the name says. Maybe in one place, in one area, you can buy clothes. In another area, you can buy shoes. In another area, you can buy toys for kids. It's a department store. You have these different departments. A shopping district. It's and now that I notice, we haven't seen neighborhood yet. Here we have neighborhood and recreational facilities. Well, a neighborhood is basically you see this? This might be a neighborhood. Is your neighbor is the person that lives next to you. So the neighborhood is the place where you have a lot of neighbors. It's like an area, like the urban area, and you can have your neighborhood. This can be a neighborhood actually. This is the avenue, this part of the street, but the rest is a neighborhood. And when we get to this, whoa, whoa, when we get to this shopping district, a shopping district is kind of a neighborhood, so to say. It's not a neighborhood because people do not live in these places. These are all stores. A shopping district is like a neighborhood made of only stores. You see, store, Foot Locker, Vans, Burger King. I don't know what says there, but it's another store. All of these one next to each other. That makes a shopping district. A drugstore, the place where you can buy your medicine, basically. Electronic store, store for electronics. Store for electronics? Electronic store. Yeah, English works like that. A gas station. This is the place where you can put a gas on your car, basically, to fill up the tank. Grocery store is the place where you usually buy food. A hair salon. You do your hair in this place. Well, other people do your hair in this place and you need to pay for it. A laundromat is a specific place to wash your clothes for a fee. A fee being money that you need to pay for that. Okay. Library. The library is the place where you can get a lot of information. It's a place where all of the books can be read for free. You don't need to pay for them, but you usually need a subscription or being part of the library, so to say. And the difference between a library and a bookstore is that in a bookstore, you need to buy those books. It's not that you can take anything from here and start reading. No, they are not gonna let you do that. What's the difference? Why don't everybody just go to the libraries then? Well, because the new books are not usually in the library. They are usually in the bookstores while they are selling. Then after a time, they usually go to a library. Outdoor market is a market outdoors, not in a building, for example. A movie theater. This is a movie theater. You can watch movies here. It's also, yeah, it's a movie theater. Museum. A museum. You can see all sorts of history things. A newsstand. Well, a newsstand is a place where you can buy the news, a newspaper, and also some snacks. Park. A park. Post office. The post office is the place where you can send mails to or packages. The suburbs. The suburbs are usually neighborhoods where only people live. We have, well, they have in the United States, they have some places in the city where you can live there, yes, but it's more like a lot of a lot of workplaces and a lot of stores and stuff, but not much people live there. But in the suburb, it's the other way around. It's a lot of houses and families living together, and no much. They're not much like stores those kind of stuff. Usually, the people have to go to the city or to the district where they can shop for the things and then come back here. This is like the places where people live. A stadium. This is a stadium. A theater. This is a theater. The difference between a theater and the concert hall is that the theater is specifically for plays. It's a theater. And, well, you can say that you can use an concert hall for theater. It's just that you need to reaccommodate it. But they have different uses. We have public transportation, maybe taxis, ferries, bus, metro, subway. Okay. A venue. A venue is the place where something happens, especially an organized event such as a concert, conference, or a sports convention. Basically, a venue is the place where a specific group can gather around a common topic. Maybe it's a conference about health, and a lot of doctors go there, and that's a venue. Okay. Wi-Fi hotspot. It's a specific place that can give Wi-Fi. It's an antenna that can give Wi-Fi to multiple devices. That's a Wi-Fi hotspot. That's why on your cell phone you can activate the hotspot, and then your cell phone become the Wi-Fi hotspot for other people. The zoo. This is the zoo. This is the place where they kept different type of animals in different places, like accommodated for them, so people can go there and watch it. Okay, some other words. Crime. Crime is when you do something illegal, like robbing another person. Well, stealing in this case, robbing another person, killing somebody, damaging. Oh my God, this is awful. Oh, what combination of words? Crime and fashion. These people are feeling so bad here, and then they're like, oh, so fancy. Okay, fashion, fashion. This is the all the different type of dresses and type of wear that women can use and men too. Um, that is part of the something that looks good and it's on the time right now and it's really good. Just fashion. Haircut. It's when you cut your hair. A haircut is when you cut your hair. Traffic light. These are the traffic lights. Nightlife. It's when in a city or a specific place there is a lot of people going out at night. Now we cannot do that, but it's good to remember those good old times. Okay, parking. This is a parking. It's the place where you park your car. Pollution. Pollution is any kind of danger or like things that are bad for our planet, like a lot of smoke, a lot of waste like this, a lot of trash, a lot of CO2 going through those going through the cars and thing. Okay. A price. A price is the amount of money that you need to pay for something. The price for an iPhone X, I think it's $1,000. It's too expensive, but that is a price. Traffic. This is traffic. A lot of people in lanes, they cannot move. They need to wait. That is traffic. Trash. This is the trash. And you can also have a trash can, a can for the trash. But these specific things here that you don't use anymore, that is trash. Okay, very good. Some adjectives. Let's see. Convenient. Convenient is something favorable or suitable. It's something that is good for you. It's convenient for you to have the classes online because you cannot see your teachers in person on these moments. That's convenient for you. Okay? Creative. Something creative is like something with a lot of imagination, something that you can, be really beautiful, like this image. This image is creative, actually. Expensive. These shoes cost 17 million. Holy dang. Okay, called the Passion Diamond shoes. These gold and diamond encrusted stilettos are believed to be the world's most expensive shoes. Source CNN. So these pair of shoes are worth $17 million. They are made of gold and diamonds. And I don't even think they are like comfortable. Look at this, like your feet must be broken or something like. Okay, but yes, this is expensive. Expensive is when it costs a lot of money. Okay, indie, music or movies. Indie films or indie movie is a feature film or a short film that is produced outside the major film studio system. 500 Days of Summer, Juno, The Kids Are All Right, Garden State, The Squid and the Whale, Lost in Translation, Adventurous Land, Lars and the Real, I don't know, American Splendor. All of these are indie movies. The indie movies are movies that are not produced by Hollywood. It's not made from Paramount or MGM or I don't know, all of the different major film studio system. It's like people with a small team trying to make and shot and film a good movie out of the little resources that they have. Industrial. This is industrial. Industrial is something related to the industries. Live music. This music that is live. It's at the moment. It's right now. It's happening. You can listen to them and see them sing. Locally made. Locally made is are things that were done in a specific country or in a specific place. For example, these candies are made here in the Dominican Republic. All of this. This looks like fish. Okay. Okay. Narrow. Narrow is something that is like too short. You know, you see this street. I can see that barely two cars can fit in here. Like that, this one that is parked here and another one there. But this is narrow. This is too close to each other. And this is wide. Is the opposite. Here we have a lot of space, and here we have such a little space. Narrow and wide. Perfect. A perfect is something with no errors. So something that is perfectly good. It's just 10 out of 10. Safe. Safe is something that is not dangerous. It's the opposite of dangerous. So if you're safe, nothing bad is going to happen to you. If you're in a dangerous place, something bad may happen to you. Some verbs. To check in. When you check in is when you enter into a hotel and you give your information and they give you your room keys and then you can use to stay in the hotel. And when you check out is when you're leaving. Check in, you're coming in. Check out, you say, I'm finished with this. Bye. And that's it. To wash, okay? To wash your hands, what you should be doing right now, every day, every now and then. Remember, wash your hands. To dry, first you wash, that is like water and soap and water again, and then dry when you have still water on your skin, and then you use a towel or something to make dry. Okay. Prepositions. We have some prepositions. Across from, it's like two things that are in front of each other, but with a street in the middle. Across, because you need to cross the street to get there. Around. Around is something that is all in a circle around a point. For example, these words travel around the world and they have around different monuments like the Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower, all stuff. Between. This apple is between these two boxes. It's one, another thing. This is in the middle. In back of or behind. It's when it's, behind. In front of, it's the opposite. In back is behind. In front of, here. You can see it first, then the box. And here you can see the box first, then the mouse. Near or close to, and far. Okay, near is when it's really close to you. You can see it really from not looking in. And far is way far. It's like there. And this is here. Okay, next to. Next to is like this and this. There's a little, it's close to. This apple is close to the book. It's next to the book. You can say those if they're one and then the other. Like one, then. But here it's far, okay? On, it's when it's touching the thing that they're on. And you can say on the corner of. This is the corner when the two streets meet. Okay, now we're gonna be starting with the finally with the part of the day of the book, and then we're gonna be coming back for the grammar in a couple of minutes, okay? So let's start. The unit 8 is called How's the Neighborhood? And as you can imagine, we're gonna be seeing things about the neighborhood as we've seen in the vocabulary, and the topics for these units are gonna be ask about and describe places and describe a neighborhood. But to start, we're gonna be starting with a word power. It's gonna be places and activities. You're gonna match the places and the definitions, then ask and answer the question with a partner. Okay? Well, now you're gonna be doing this. But take your time and match the places with the activities. For example, we have clothing store, grocery store, hair salon, laundromat, newsstand, stadium, Wi-Fi hotspot, and get food and small items from the home, can connect to the internet, get a haircut, buy newspapers and magazines, see a game or a concert, find new fashions, wash and dry your clothes, etc. Okay? So take your time, and when you finish, we're gonna check. Okay, you finished? Let's check. Okay, number one is F. Okay, clothing store is F. Find new fashions. Okay, in a clothing store, you can find different types of clothes. Number two, grocery store is A. Get food and small items for the home. Very good. Number three, hair salon is C. Get a haircut. Laundromat, number four, it's G. Wash and dry your clothes. 5. Newsstand is D. Buy newspapers and magazines. Number 6. Stadium is E. See a game or a concert. And letter 7, oh my god, number 7, Wi-Fi hotspot. It's letter B. Can connect to the internet. Very good. Now, let's continue with a conversation. It's gonna be between Greg and Mrs. Cook. It's gonna be just a little practice here. We don't have a second part like we usually have, so let's just pay attention to what they are gonna be talking, because it's gonna be related to the topic of the grammar of today, okay? So listen closely, and if you need to listen again, just go back in the video, okay?
Unit 8. How's the neighborhood? Page 50. Exercise 2. Conversation. I just moved in. Listen and practice.
Excuse me. Hi, I'm your new neighbor, Greg. I just moved in.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking for a grocery store. Are there any around here?
Yes, there are some on Pine Street.
Oh, good. And is there a laundromat near here?
Well, I think there's one across from the shopping center.
Thank you.
By the way, there's a hair salon in the shopping center.
A hair salon?
Oh my god, this woman suggested him to cut his hair because he's long. But okay, if you notice something here, he's asking for the places where they are, and he's using a specific type of grammar. Are there any around here? The grocery stores. There are, is there, there's one, there's it. Okay, we're gonna be talking just about that in the grammar focus of today. It's gonna be there is, there are, one, any, or some, and the prepositions that we already seen a bit. Okay, I would like to use this, but at the end as a summary of what we just seen. But for now, we're gonna be using this resource of grammar. Okay, we're gonna start with there is and there are. The meanings are that to say that something exists or doesn't exist. Okay, for example, in the conversation when the woman said, "Oh, there is a hair salon on the place that she mentioned," it's saying that it exists. If we say there isn't, is that it doesn't exist. Okay, and the way to use there is or there is really easy. It's really easy. You start with there is. If you use is, there is a singular noun. It can only be a singular noun. Okay. And also you can use an uncountable noun. Why? Because you never put uncountable nouns in plural. For example, you don't say milks because you're gonna say 3 milks. No, it's a liter of milks. Okay. So when we use there is for singular nouns and uncountable nouns. And remember, always you need to use an article with the singular nouns. For example, there is a book. We need the a or not, or if not, it's gonna be incorrect. Okay. If it's there are, it's with plural nouns obligatorily. Okay. There are books on the desk. Okay. There is a book on the desk. There are books on the desk. There is some milk in the fridge. In this case, milk is uncountable. okay? For the negative, it's used, instead of using there is or there are, is there isn't or there aren't. And it's the same that we can use isn't for singular nouns and uncountable nouns. But there is a small difference there, okay? With there is, we just use a singular noun, okay? There isn't a pen on the table. We still need to use the article, yeah. Okay, very good. When we use aren't, we need to say any, okay? There aren't any pens here. When we use plural, we use any. But also with uncountable nouns, we use any, okay? Because when we have uncountable nouns, it's usually a multiple type or a quantity of something, and it's usually more than a single thing. So it's like if it were plural in some way, but we still use it in singular, okay? It's just that you need to remember that we use any for aren't and isn't, okay? There isn't a pen on the table. There aren't any pens on here. There isn't any juice on the fridge, okay? Very good. And that was affirmative and negative. Now for question, we just need to change the order. There is a cat on the chair. Is there a cat on the chair? Always put in the interrogation mark. If you don't put the interrogation, if you don't write the interrogation mark, then it's not a question. There are cats on the sofa. Are there cats on the sofa? Okay. And we have how many plus plural noun plus are there. But I'm not gonna be stopping too much here because tomorrow's class is gonna be about specifically that, okay? And we have the contractions. There's is the same as there is. There's not is the same as there is not. There isn't is the same as there is not as well. There aren't is the same as there are not. Okay. We have some important things with every, no, some, and any. And how can you use them? Okay. Every means all. It can be used in positive and negative sentences. For example, every X is on the circle here. I won every game. It means all the games. You can win every games, okay? If it's positive or negative. Some means a part of or a portion. It's used in positive statements only. It's not specific, okay? I won some games, but not all of them. Some of the games were cancelled, okay? This is always used in positive, okay? Any means at least or even one, or even a little bit. It's used in negative sentences and questions. I didn't win any games. Did you win any games? If you notice here's when we use any, because it's used in a negative statements, okay? And no means zero or not any, and it's only used in negative word use. Okay, only negative word used in a sentence. It's like I won no games. None of my friends went well. You can use both, no or none. Okay, and it's here it says only negative word used in a sentence. It's using that this word makes it negative, but it's the only one that you use. I won no games. None of my friends, none of them went well. Okay, here we have some other prepositions of place. You can stop the video here to, check what do they mean, because going through each one of them is going to be long. But it's in, inside, on, at, near, under, over, below, above, round, around, through, among, between, behind, in front of, along, across, up, down, opposite, onto, off, into, out of, past, next to, by, beside, against, over, from, to, towards. And we have the last part, it's the in, on, at, and it's specific uses for each one of them, okay? In, it's for general, or for bigger. On is for more specific or smaller, and at is very specific. the smallest, okay? We use in when we want to use time and place and locations. In the 18,000s, in the 80s, in 1979, we use it for centuries, decades, years, months, season, weeks, parts of the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in 2 weeks, in the summers, in the winter. We use it for places or occasions, in countries, cities, neighborhoods, in England, in New York. This is incorrect. In Brooklyn, this is incorrect as well. In a shop, in a garden, in a car. Okay, then we use on for more specific streets, avenues, surface, transport, days. On May 7th, 1964, on my birthday, on Friday. You see here we have big years, months, weeks, parts of the day, but here we're specific, a little bit more specific, saying the day. On May 7th, on my birthday, on Friday, the streets on Oxford Street, on the corner of the table, be more specific. And at is the very specific. It's a specific thing, okay? With hours, weekend, celebration, or festivals. At 7 a.m., at 12 o'clock, at 5 p.m., at midday, going through centuries, years, months, then days, then hours, okay? At Christmas, at Easter, at New Year, address a specific location. At 734 Oxford Street, you're specifying exactly where in the street. Because here you say, oh, on Oxford Street. The Oxford Street is usually long. So if you say at 734 Oxford Street, it's because it's a specific place, okay? Well, I hope that you understand all of this. Let's go back to the book. Now that we see this, it's gonna be way more easier for us to understand. Here we have the there are, one, and either some. You remember when we want to make a question, is there a laundromat near here? And you can say, oh, yes, there is, or no, there isn't. But there is one across from the shopping center. No, there isn't, but there's one next to the library. Are there any grocery stores around here? Yes, they are. There are. There are some nice stores on Pine Street. This is in plural. No, there aren't, but there are some on 3rd Avenue. And no, there aren't any around here. Okay, very good. Now, let's continue to the last two parts of today. One of them is gonna be a pronunciation, that is, the reduction of there is and there are, and how to pronounce it in a correct way, in a reduced way, in a conversation, okay? So listen to this and then try to practice for yourself, okay? Let's listen.
Page 52. Exercise 4. Pronunciation. Reduction of there is, there are. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice how there is and there are reduced in conversation, except for short answers.
Is there a bank near here?
Yes, there is. There is one on First Avenue.
Are there any coffee shops around here?
Yes, there are. There are some on Pine Street.
Okay, very good. Do you notice the differences? Is that we can reduce there is or there are, but we cannot use it on short answers. Okay? Is there a bank near here? Yes, there is. There's one on First Avenue. There's not reduction because we already have the contraction. We just say there is, okay? There's one on First Avenue. Are there any coffee shops around here? Yes, there are. There are some are some on Pine Street. Okay? If you want you can go back and listen as much times as you need to practice. But for the last thing of today, we're gonna be having a listening. It's called We Need Some Directions, okay? You're gonna listen to a hotel guest ask about places to visit, and you're gonna complete the chart. We have the places flavors of Hollywood, Museum of Modern Art, and City Zoo. Where is the location, and whether if it's interesting, yes or no, okay? So listen closely, and if you need to listen again, just go back in the video. We're gonna check after you listen.
Page 52. Exercise 6. Listening. We need some directions. Part A. Listen to hotel guests ask about places to visit. Complete the chart.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, please. We need some directions.
Sure. What are you looking for?
Well, first of all, we're looking for the Flavors of Hollywood restaurant. How far is it from here?
Oh, it's just a few minutes from here. Right across from the post office.
The post office on Western Avenue?
Yes, that's the one.
Is Flavors of Hollywood a nice place?
Well, I think so. The food is good, and there are some interesting things to look at in the restaurant from movies like Rocky, The Terminator, and Titanic.
Great. And where is the Museum of Modern Art?
Well, that's near the City Concert Hall.
Near the City Concert Hall. Okay, I know where that is. And what's the museum like?
Actually, it's small, and it doesn't have any famous art, so some people think it's not very interesting.
Oh, then maybe we won't go there.
One last question. Is there a zoo in the city?
Yes, there's a very good one. The city zoo is only about 6 blocks from here. It's in the park next to the train station.
Oh, good. That's not very far from here.
No, it isn't. Definitely visit the zoo.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Okay, very good. I hope that you got the answers. We're gonna check them right now. Okay, the places. Okay, Flavors of Hollywood. It's across from the post office on Western Avenue, and yes, it is interesting. Then we have the Museum of Modern Art near the City Concert Hall, and it is not quite interesting. And we have the City Zoo in the park next to the train station, and yes, it is interesting. Okay, I hope that you like the classes. Tomorrow we're gonna be continuing with the rest of the unit, so I hope you like this one and that you like the next one, okay? So see you another day. Bye.